The Kingdom of Scotland was a medieval state that formed over several centuries in the north of the British Isles. Its origins go back to ancient times, when modern-day Scotland was inhabited by numerous peoples: the Picts, Scots, Britons, Angles, and Norse Vikings. In the Roman era, the north was home to the Picts, a mysterious people known for their fierce bravery and intricate tattoos, about whom few written sources remain. The Romans built Hadrian's Wall to contain the Picts and never fully conquered the northern lands. In parallel, on the western coast, there existed the Kingdom of the Scots, Dalriada, founded by settlers from Ireland. The Scots brought with them the Gaelic language, Christianity, and a warrior culture. Further south, remnants of Brittonic states survived, particularly Strathclyde, which descended from Roman colonies. Throughout the 7th to 9th centuries, these peoples were in near constant conflict with each other and with the Anglo-Saxons, who had established the powerful Kingdom of Northumbria. In 843, according to traditional Scottish historiography, King Kenneth MacAlpin united the Scots and the Picts under one crown, founding the Kingdom of Alba. This was the beginning of the political unity that would later transform into the Kingdom of Scotland. Though the unification was a gradual process, the symbolic significance of this act became the foundation of national identity. Over the following centuries, Alba consolidated its borders, extending authority over Strathclyde, Lothian, and the Highlands. The kings of Alba constantly fought not only external threats, like the Norse, but also internal clan conflicts. The Norwegians seized much of the coastline, establishing colonies in the Orkney and Hebrides Islands, and even in Caithness. The struggle with them lasted over 2 centuries. From the 11th century, feudal structures began to appear in Scotland, borrowed from Norman England. After the Norman conquest of England in 1066, many Norman families moved north, receiving lands from the Scottish kings. Thus began the feudalization of the country. The administrative system changed, castles and new laws appeared, and kings began to style themselves Kings of Scots. During this period, royal power significantly strengthened, although many regions, especially the Highlands, remained under the control of independent clans who recognized the king only nominally. This dualism between the center and periphery defined Scottish political life for centuries. At the end of the 13th century, the most crucial chapter in the history of the Kingdom of Scotland unfolded: the Wars of Independence. After the death of King Alexander III in 1286, and the subsequent death of his granddaughter Margaret, the Maid of Norway, Scotland was left without a direct heir. Chaos ensued, and the English King Edward I intervened, offering arbitration. He chose John Balliol, a weak independent ruler whom he could manipulate. However, the Scottish barons soon rebelled. The First War of Independence began. Leading the resistance was William Wallace, a commoner who united forces against English tyranny. In the Battle of Stirling Bridge in 1297, the Scots achieved a glorious victory, yet Wallace was eventually captured and executed in 1305, but his example inspired successors. The next hero of Scottish history was Robert the Bruce. He initially fought on the English side, but later claimed the crown for himself. In 1306, Bruce was proclaimed King of Scotland, but was forced to flee. After years of hardship, he returned, gathered an army, and defeated the English at the decisive Battle of Bannockburn in 1314. This victory solidified the kingdom's independence. In 1320, the Scottish nobility sent the famous Declaration of Arbroath to the Pope, proclaiming the people's right to have their own king and to live freely. In 1328, England officially recognized Scotland's independence. However, peace was short-lived. The following decades brought new wars, dynastic crises, intrigues, and English invasions. Robert the Bruce's successors failed to maintain stability, and conflict flared up again. In the 15th century, the Stuart dynasty began to rise. They ruled from 1371, starting with Robert II, and would become one of Europe's most famous dynasties. The Stuarts tried to centralize power, limit the influence of clans, and increase royal control over church property. Meanwhile, education flourished in Scotland. The first university was founded in St. Andrews, and Latin culture and legal systems spread. The 16th century was marked by 2 major events: the Reformation and the figure of Mary Stuart. In the 1660s, Protestantism, under the influence of John Knox, gained dominance over Catholicism in Scotland. The Church of Scotland declared independence from Rome, and Parliament affirmed Calvinist doctrine. Mary, Queen of Scots, remained a Catholic and tried to preserve the Catholic order, leading to conflicts with the Lords and ultimately her imprisonment. Mary fled to England, but there she was executed for plotting against Queen Elizabeth I. Her son, James VI, inherited the Scottish crown, and in 1603, after Elizabeth's death, also became King of England as James I, initiating a personal union of the two kingdoms. From that moment, a new era began. Scotland and England shared a monarch, but remained separate states with their own parliaments, laws, churches, and currencies. Political tension between these systems was constant. In the 17th century, Scotland experienced civil wars, involvement in English conflicts, a brief conquest by Oliver Cromwell, and the restoration of the monarchy. At the same time, the country remained deeply religious and upheld a Presbyterian church system that resisted Anglicanism. In 1707, due to political, economic, and strategic reasons, the Act of Union was signed between England and Scotland. The Scottish Parliament was dissolved, and the country joined the Kingdom of Great Britain. This caused significant discontent among the population, especially in the Highlands, where loyalty to the House of Stuart remained strong. The following decades were marked by Jacobite uprisings, which aimed to restore the Stuarts to the throne. The most famous rebellion in 1745, led by Prince Charles Edward Stuart, Bonnie Prince Charlie, ended in defeat at the Battle of Culloden. It was the last major battle on British soil and the end of dreams for an independent kingdom. Despite the loss of independence, the Kingdom of Scotland remained deeply rooted in the culture and memory of its people. Its legal system, education, church, and traditions all remain unique. The history of the Kingdom of Scotland is a history of the struggle for freedom, rights, and dignity in a brutal medieval world. It shaped a national consciousness that persists to this day. Scots still proudly remember the names of their kings, heroes, generals, and martyrs. Though the Kingdom of Scotland became part of a larger state, it never lost its spirit.